Hello everyone, my name is Jeff, and this is the Chihayafuru episode 18 review. With me, as always, is Coby. Welcome to the show, Coby.
Hello, happy to be here, as always, as we review Chihayafuru, as always. Because it's back for Season 3, in case you didn't know.
Yep, it's back for Season 3, and back with us is Jake from Anime Dumpster Dive also. Hey, Jake, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. I got a question for you, Jake. Are you Team Taichi or Team Arata?
I'm Team Arata because
What?
Oh,
Wait.
yeah!
Wait, that is not...
Oh, yeah!
You are not.
I've always been Team Arata, even back when you first turned me onto the show.
Have I been blinded this whole time? I could have sworn you were a Team Taichi fan.
No, Taichi weirded me out in the first season, and then I just
He
never
grew
recovered.
Never mind. How do we boot him off this? He's gone.
I don't know. I believe Kobe's the one that needs to be booted off now.
Oh no, you have the numbers.
Yeah, Team Arata all the way. That was the correct answer, Jake. Thank you. Thank you for being on the show.
My pleasure.
Now, what do you guys think of this episode?
Oh, starting right off the bat with a heavy hitter.
Okay.
What did I think of this episode? Good. I liked it. Wasn't as good as previous episodes. Better than last week's setup episode of 17. And gave us more insight into Shinobu. And yeah.
I was gonna say that, but I really liked this episode a lot. For me, Shinobu has always been Shimbo, the weird hick cousin of Shinobu.
I want to play karuta.
Hey, y'all.
But Shinobu, for me, has always been kind of like a weird, distant character. So it was really cool to see her be like humanized a little. Like she gets like a little heartbroken that Chihaya isn't there, like playing against her not because she lost, but because she didn't even compete. And I thought that was sweet in its own way.
Yeah, we kind of touched on this last week, Jeff. We kind of went too broad, I think, with our reasoning of why Shinobu was upset with Chihaya in episode 17. We said, we kind of guessed it was because she wasn't there competing, but she really called it back to, we saw Shinobu's flashbacks to Chihaya saying, let's play again in the Queen's match. So it's like she was thinking she was going to be there. She was supposed to be there at that match playing her, and Shinobu thought she had found a friend to play with finally. And then she learns that her only potential friend blew it off to go on a class trip instead, and that really shattered her.
Totally true. That makes things a lot more serious, I guess. And now Chihaya feels like shit.
Do you think she realizes?
I think so.
I didn't understand. We'll talk. I guess. Sure. Let's talk about it now. It's like, does she really feel bad because when she went to really go confront Shinobu at the end with the prayer, she was just praying next to him, and then Shinobu's like, it was the scene that rang a little weird for me. It's like Shinobu said, "What were you praying for?" And she's like, "Oh, I was praying for Dr. Harada to win." And then she's like, "That's it? You're silly." And they shared a nice moment. Like, no mention of, praying for Shinobu. But I guess you compare it to she ran after her to
Well, she was
try to
probably just
comfort her a little
fucking
bit.
with her, right? That's what friends do. Mess around a little.
Not Chihaya. Chihaya does not fuck with people.
I kind of saw it as a like how Shinobu's been alone constantly. So I figured that she just appreciated the presence. Like Chihaya initially went there to follow her out, but then kind of just hung around her because like maybe she didn't know what to say to like correct her mistake, but as long as she was there, like her presence was enough.
In regards to because Shinobu does kind of go through a bit of an arc in this episode where she starts out a little disappointed in her grandmother, disappointed in Chihaya, she's off her game. And then after a while, she comes back. But at least to me, I wasn't able to pinpoint what it was exactly that led her to go back inside and play the game again. Because there's a moment when Shinobu is at the altar praying. Then Chihaya pops up, and then Shinobu starts walking away. But then she walks back and then gives her scarf to Chihaya. And I thought, to me, that looks like a moment where she was giving that as a parting gift and that Shinobu was just going to ditch the whole match altogether. But then it cuts to the next scene where she's inside and she's getting ready to get her yukata back on. So, I don't know. Are you guys able to figure out what that was? Like, why she came back?
I tied it into I guess it wasn't really super explained, so I had to fill in the gaps in my head. In my eyes, I saw it as she's going back to save her friends, and because her friends are the cards. Because there was that whole scene about like the winner gets to pick up the cards and put them away, or basically and gets to take them, and then they're the winners basically. So she abandoned her friends in that first kind of when she was in her dark phase, and then after praying at the shrine and then running into Chihaya, she's like, I need to go fight for my friends now. Because she saw, this is totally 100% accurate, she saw Chihaya praying for Dr. Harada, and that encouraged her to be like, you encourage your friends no matter what. And then she was going to go back to save her friends.
Okay.
Boom. Problem solved.
I mean, that could be it. I thought personally that it was left like a hard cut for like a reason. Like we'd get, like when she's in her next match, we'd get like a flashback to like a conversation maybe her and Chihaya had out on those staircases.
Okay. Now I'm willing to accept that. Because otherwise, the resolution of her coming back is sort of, left in the air, so to speak. Which to me, at the moment, seems like it was sort of poorly implemented, and that's kind of one of my main complaints about the episode is why did she come back? And if it is just her friends, oh, I gotta go back to my friends and save my card to card friends again. Like I don't know, that just doesn't seem like a strong enough motivation to overcome her disappointment with her grandma and someone who she thought was a friend.
Yeah, because that's the overall. If you're plotting out this episode in terms of beats, it's like how I guess the writers had to approach it was Shinobu is devastated by both her grandma using her as a prop and her only friend ditching her. She's drowned and she loses a match. She has to go out, and somehow Chihaya is the one to convince her to go back in and play her real match. Whether it be her giving her those ribbons to help her sleeves, which is just, it's not an overt act of friendship, but it's just something that says, I care about you, that allowed her to rise up from the muck and go back to play, or for another reason. But I think you're right. It's like the actual legit reason for why it happened was a little off.
Yeah, and if it is the case that they are saving this special exchange between Chihaya and Shinobu, and that is the reason why Shinobu comes back, then I just wish there was a little, maybe a little foreshadowing or something, or a little conveyance, like maybe a silent exchange between them. Sometimes in movies or TV shows you see two characters having a conversation, their mouths are moving, but you don't really know what they're saying, kind of thing. Like if something like that happened, then it would be more of like, ooh, I wonder what that's about, as opposed to, maybe there was a conversation there, but I'm not really sure. So.
I mean, it could go another way, where Shinobu goes like with a heel turn, and after she, like, let's say she wins the Queen's match, and then Chihaya goes to congratulate her. She's like, "Oh well, yeah, I didn't do that. Like, this is no thanks to you. Like, my only connection is with these cards." And like, it's like kind of a reveal that Chihaya did nothing. It was really just her realizing that, oh, I don't want this girl around anymore. Like, I just like this is my only connection is to the cards.
That would be interesting, but it would also be pretty sad, because I feel like we've been sort of building up to Shinobu opening herself up more to having. There's even like she says something in the beginning where her grandma it flashes back to what her grandma said, where the more isolated Shinobu is, the stronger she is, and Shinobu's like, well, that was a fucking lie, because I'm super alone now and I don't feel strong at all. So it's like if she just kind of goes back to that, where the cards are her only friends, and her being isolated is really good for her. I don't know, something about that just doesn't feel right in terms of the way the story's been panning out for her, I guess.
Yeah.
But that kind of fixes it, right? That's kind of what she said. If it starts off the episode with her being like, she even said that it's like the isolated makes me stronger, so why am I so alone? So just the act of Chihaya just being there and just generally around her atmosphere and showing a type of of compassion just allowed her to snap out about that, because it's the hint that she is stronger with other people. It just wasn't fully explained.
Because that would add on to, because Chihaya gave her the ribbons. So again, she's not alone. anymore. If he does have Chihaya there, like even in like spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess Shinobu giving her the scarf is enough conveyance to the audience that like, oh, Shinobu maybe came to the conclusion that she does care about Chihaya, and then she gave her the scarf and everything is good, kind of thing. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still have
Possibly.
complaints about it, but whatever.
Do you guys actually think the grandma is using her, or is it just her pessimistic mom like poisoning her?
Yeah, that was part of our discussion within the last episode. Yeah, we did.
I'm so sorry I didn't watch your guys' discussion
no.
this time.
It's cool. Our
Wow.
one fan, Jake.
I normally do. I just fell behind.
No, that's cool. But like, yeah, we did consider that was a possibility, because it does seem like the mother is more cynical about Shinobu's connection to Karuta than the grandma is. So she, the way that she views the world is that way. There's no way that someone could care about someone's passion like Karuta outside of like ulterior motives. That's how Shinobu's mom probably sees the world. And so yeah, I think the grandma does care about her. I mean, she's bothering to flip through 100 channels looking for why it's not being broadcasted, right?
Yeah, that's what my argument for like her grandma actually caring is that she's trying to watch this by herself, like continuously.
Yeah, so then the grandma's probably gonna show up at the game, and then Shinobu.
She seemed to be in a different city. I mean, she probably is because they have to come to this, but she seemed like really far away. Because didn't it seem like nighttime when she was looking for this channel?
It seemed like daytime to me.
Oh. Then yeah, hopefully she comes down and then hopefully she busts in and says like, "You can do it," like in the last climatic moment.
Yeah.
She pulls a
Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider.
Yeah, you can do it.
She's the Rob Schneider of cards.
Take those cards right from her.
Yeah, she'll probably come back, and then Shinobu will be like, "Oh, you really do care," and it was all a misunderstanding, which is not my favorite way of things going out or playing out. Things being just a simple misunderstanding, but I guess it's fine. It allows Shinobu to kind of grow on her own, I guess. But
And see, well, she needs to get away from her mother. That's what she needs to do.
Yeah, her mom's a downer.
And so I guess we could transition over to our Masters match, our Suo and Dr. Harada. How was this storyline compared to the other one for you guys?
I like this one a little bit more, just because there was a little more action in the Karuta game itself, like a little strategy going on with Harada. He threw the third game against Suo, which I thought was perfect, because we've seen him do the strategy in the past, and it just makes sense that he'd do it again, especially in a best of 5. So that was really cool. And
yeah, so after that match, what was the score? It was Harada won the first one, Suo won the second.
the first 2.
And then Harada won the first 2, and then he threw the third. Oh yeah, because Suo was copying the queen, and the queen lost the second one.
Yep. Yeah, and then the fourth match is revealed Chihaya's conversation with Harada about what she thought his weakness was. And so his weakness ended up being, or what Chihaya thinks his weakness is his eyesight. Can't see shit. Yeah.
Where he can't see the edges. He can't see the edges of his sight. And then it kept showing his character, and it kept showing his eyes. And so part of me was wondering if it's just because his bangs are in his face.
His hair is clear. Like in anime, hair never affects a character's vision, but it's like it really should, because it is clearly blocking the sides that he can't see.
Yeah, that's actually edges of, like, he can't see the edge of his eyes, and I'm looking, I'm like, is it because his hair's in the way? Because it legit is there.
So it's like, now you've seen my final form, and he ties up his hair, and he's like, oh crap, now he's unstoppable.
I was gonna say he just stands up and asks for a scrunchie again.
Oh yeah, scrunchy. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, because he did have his hair up in when he was playing Chihaya during that practice session, right?
Yeah.
And this time he doesn't have his hair tied up though. Or does it?
He doesn't, because he doesn't. It's kind of down because he's not serious. He's playing along. He's playing his weird, twisted game. I still don't think he walks away with. I don't think Harada walks away with a victory here, because it's gonna show how Suo is going to overcome his weakness when he like really tries or something. But it's interesting to have our master, this guy who's won like a consecutive insane amount of games, or just like wins a whole lot, or has won this king for a while, is almost a little bit blind. How was that reveal? I was surprised with this. That was the secret.
It was a little interesting because I remember when we were theorizing what the weakness was. I don't remember what I theorized, but I remember saying something along the lines of like Harada was gonna like mess with the cards a lot to kind of break his flow, I guess. And so when he was doing that, I was like, aha, I was right, sort of. But it was not at all in relation to the fact that Suo had terrible eyes. But anyways, I just had to point that out.
Half points. I don't remember what I said, but I just assume I guessed right. Jake, you are a loyal fan. What did we say?
Jeff definitely mentioned moving the cards around.
Yes.
So that's 100% there. And I don't remember what you said.
Wow.
Because
what did you think the weakness was?
I thought his weakness.
If you had it.
I thought. Oh well, when I was watching it, the person I was watching it with, I just automatically said, like, as a joke, I was like, he's gonna distract him by pointing out that Chihaya is in the audience.
Ooh. Not bad.
That could have worked. Try to distract. Hey, your future bride's there. I did like how they flash back to like how Chihaya kind of figured this out, which is like her holding up his glasses and like kind of looking through them, like because like to show that she actually was around him and that scene did mean something.
So are those prescription sunglasses then, or what?
I mean, they exist.
Probably.
Yeah. So prescription sunglasses, but he keeps them off when he's playing. Why? Why would he do that?
Because he doesn't need to, because he knows exactly where all his cards. Because I'm sure his memory is fantastic, so he just can look briefly and just during the memorization period see where everything is. He even left in that like he must be able to have like an instant photographic memory. Because remember, like in the first match, he went and called his mom. Or who we thought we called. There was a little more on that story development on this one that I want to talk about. But like he seems to be able to memorize instantly, and then once it's there, then it's just like he knows it, and then he can just listen and play. He's kind of like how Chihaya played him was she closed her eyes to not let him bait her into making a fault, and that's kind of how he plays, which would be it's just like he can't see very well, but he hears and he listens and he doesn't and he's able to hit him there.
That's interesting. I mean, in any case, Suo is sweating though. There's a little sweat drop, so he's on edge. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, inevitably, there has to be some pushback from Suo. Harada's not just gonna win this super easily, I don't think. Or else that'd be very anticlimactic. But like at the moment, it seems Suo's like pretty nervous.
Yeah, because he's got to win 2 in a row, right?
Yeah, he has to win 2 more.
Because Harada won. No, I guess he has to win 3, doesn't he?
Well, he already won 1. So he has to. Well, I guess yes, he has to win 3 in a row total.
Oh yeah. I forgot about the third.
Welcome to the Chihayafuru review, where Coby forgets the match orders and all that stuff.
Dude, math it's so many, because then I forget who wins what and what they're playing to, and it was kind of, I like the story technique of just like, oh, because the King Master is a qualifying Masters match, like now because it's the winner one, the Queen match can take some time off and wait for like a more deciding match.
Oh yeah.
Which is
I didn't understand that. What's the reasoning
it's
behind that?
The reasoning is so they could have story around.
Well, no, the Queen's match is best of 3, while as the Masters match is best of 5.
I didn't know
what?
So if
that's oh wow.
Yeah. So if you want to, so for broadcast time,
what sexist BS?
Like you'd hate for the Queen's match to be over in the 3rd game, when the King's match has up to 5 more games left. So.
That's crazy. Oh, wow, that makes a ton more sense.
Hold on. Are you sure? Wait, I could have sworn that... Okay, now it's welcome to Chihayafuru review, where Jeff forgets who won what match. But in the Queen matches, didn't... what's her name? The Chihaya mom? Didn't she win the first one and the second one?
No, she lost the second one.
Yeah, because Shinobu won the first one because it came down to luck of the draw, and as Shinobu said, cards always choose me, because when you're this friends with cards, they're gonna choose you. So she won the first one, and I thought, what's her Nok, I believe her name is, or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she won the second one because Shinobu was so distracted, And then over on the other side, Suo came down to luck of the draw too and lost because it went to Arata, and then he lost the second. He won the second.
He lost the second
because he lost the second game. Welcome to the Chihayafuru podcast, where Jake tells us who won which match.
Our correspondent Jake reports on the match results. He's the guy with the cards.
It would suck to be a reporter at that because, one, it would suck watching this because it is BS. Because as much stride as they're going to broadcast these matches, it is crazy that they don't have a way to broadcast both of them. Like, you have to choose, you have to mix and match which one the camera's on. Like, have two separate streams or something, right?
Yeah, there should be two different links, one for the Masters match, one for the Queens match.
Not just whenever the cameraman's like, let's just look over at the Kings match for a while.
That is a little weird. It works in two ways though. I guess it works from the story perspective maybe, where it's like, some people can only see half the match. Isn't that interesting? But it also works in terms of like these people, it's like their first time streaming. It's like, oh yeah, we can only have one stream because that's how it is, right? Like, TV has one channel. It's like,
Yeah, we can't do it both. We set up this whole thing where apparently like V called this out when we were watching, I think 2 episodes ago. It's like during the announcer match, like, how there's an announcer and then they're talking to the queen while it's happening. Like, that room is filled with people. Like, what are they watching? They're not watching the match. There's no TV in there. They're watching the commentary of the match that they're not watching.
Oh, there's no TV in there? Are you sure?
There's like 3 rooms. I thought there's like a breakdown one. There's like a room with TVs where the people who can't get on the first floor are watching, and then there's like that reporter desk with everybody, which I didn't think there was a TV in there.
That wouldn't make any
Or
sense.
is there a TV?
You're talking about the commentators, right?
Yeah, the commentators, the one who's like, oh, it's a previous.
How would they commentate if they can't see?
They were there.
They're listening to.
No,
it.
they were.
They're
there. They're in the middle of the 2 games because they go commentating. We have that one reader that Suo likes, and he goes like, "Oh, why couldn't you be reading?" And she like shivers because like she senses him like right there.
But she wasn't. Oh wait, was that because remember? I'm just.
There's a
Chihayafuru. I just don't understand the layout of where this tournament is taking place.
On the breaks, there's that conference room where they were talking. But that's a different room, and it's not happening the same time as the game.
So after the game is done, they all go over to the conference room and to talk about it, and they go back into their respective rooms to watch.
I mean, that's probably the press area. So
yeah. Okay.
I'm glad Jake is here to clear all this shit up for us.
Can you imagine if we were just saying all this stuff without Jake? I don't think I ever would have realized the Queen match was 3 and the King match was 5.
The same here. That totally flew over my head because, I was just like, why would that happen? I don't know.
Would it not occur to you guys when one of them won the next game?
I'd be hella confused.
And won the whole thing?
It might have clicked, but who knows? I would have been like, wow, shit, I guess.
Wow, they played those matches really well.
Yeah, they just played them really fast.
My brain would not have made the connection. I just still think it's like, okay, we're on the last match for the Queen match. It's Queen 1-1, NOK 1-1, and then this is the final one. And then Suo was like, Suo lost 2 in a row, Arata 1-1. They're on their 4th game, and they're going to play a 5th one in a second. Saying it out loud, it makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
But.
All right, so who do you guys think Suo was talking to on the phone there?
I was thinking it was like his family and how they're not really into karuta. So he keeps telling them like, oh well, how about you like check this stream? It's like, oh, we have to pay a premium thing for it. Well, like what? Why don't you do this instead? And they're just like, there's a party going on in the background and stuff. So it's like his family's hanging out to go, like saying that they're going to go watch him, but they're not. Like they don't really care about it. It was weird because
we talked in depth last week, Jake, about how we thought on the phone it seemed like he was talking to his mom, and because like his mom seemed to really want to be able to stream it, because they're not live airing it anymore. So she's like, we'll go over and ask the computer friend for help, and it's like you got to do this. Like he was really trying to help her out because he wanted her to watch, and we kind of theorized that. Remember when Suo had that freak out about how it wasn't going to be live stream, like it wasn't going to be on air anymore. and the characters make a joke about how he's vain because he wants it live broadcast, but then that scene kind of showed that he wanted, because we tied it directly to his mom likes to watch him play because that's like the only probably thing that he's good at. And now that we don't see that, then it's a really big problem. But I don't know. I guess that scene was like with more people now in his family. It's just there's other people in his life who don't want to watch him play very much, even though he wants them to.
Yeah, there's a couple elements to it. Like there's a party in the background, and some dude said something about how he had like a 60-inch TV, but it would only take up like 30 inches of the screen or something like that, and that how someone wouldn't be able to see it. And then it kind of it shows like a really brief shot of like some little kid trying to see it or something.
Yeah, was that a flashback? Or was that?
Yeah.
I didn't understand what that scene was.
Yeah, Jake,
you're our correspondent.
What's going on here?
Okay. My interpretation of it was because the kid's getting his ears held, or he's holding his ears. So I think it was a young Suo, and his family is like notoriously known to have like big parties, maybe where they don't where he probably didn't get a lot of attention, and he has sensitive ears. So maybe that's what it was just making him flashback to being at those parties when he was a kid, and like it being too loud.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Jake,
too.
that makes sense.
I thought it was I did think it was a flashback to young Suo, but I guess that does make sense.
Because when I saw that, I thought it was another family member that maybe Suo was trying to have that person watch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
that. Yeah, that's also a good idea. Like maybe he's like that family member's similar to Suo and just has like the hearing thing, so he wants to show him what he could do with it.
Yeah, it could be like a little brother, a little cousin. So he's like, yeah, get it on, and then they're having a party, but this kid's like, I'm not having fun here. So yeah, he's doing it for this little kid maybe, which would then make our theory kind of true, except instead of a mom, it's like a little cousin, a little more complex than that, I guess.
Yeah, so it wasn't. He was like, go over to your name. That makes kind of, because it was either an old woman he was talking to about go over there and talk to him and ask him how to set it up and everything, or it could either be a mom or a kid. I guess we'll see. Either way, I think it makes Suo very interesting. I like Suo a lot, and I like to see where his story goes because he's like this blank shell of an enigma that I want to know more about.
I do enjoy what these matches have done for our Queen and Master, because it has made them more realistic characters instead of just these undefeatable entities. But now you're like, oh well, they have their own like dramas and other stuff that they go through. So I like that a lot.
Yeah, this show does a really great job of delving into each cast member, giving them their own problems, stuff like that. Yeah, I totally appreciate that, especially for the villains. Well, they're not really villains, but like, the antagonists, I guess.
Here's my question: Does Arata have a tournament tomorrow?
That was another thing. It sounds like there's a tournament for a lot of people because they go, I can't remember her name, but like the new ace for that one coach's school,
Rion.
Yeah, Rion is participating in that tournament.
Yeah, so I guess so. There's a tournament. Like, what? But what? We haven't seen a tournament at this stage before.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering if it's like some all-star tournament that I meant to ask that too. Was like, did this tournament come out of nowhere, like just so that we don't finish the arc here, or that the next season has an arc right at the beginning of it? I'm like, what is this?
Mystery tournament.
I have no idea because like I at first I thought, because when I first saw this, I didn't know that Rion was going to be participating in it. I missed that, but if Arata had a tournament the next day, even though I don't think he would ever do it, it would be nice if, I think in line with how his character is growing and to try to, like, thinking about teams and all that stuff, if it was like if he had to miss this, not because he was randomly sick, but because he had to make a choice for whatever tournament that he's about to play and not go, like wouldn't that make more narrative sense than just randomly being sick? Because Jeff and I were talking of just like, it seems a little bit like the show spinning its wheels. Just like, why isn't Arata here? He really should be there. It's like, oh, he got sick, so he's not going to be there. But if he actually made the active choice to not be there because of something Karuta related, then I think that could have helped smooth that over a little bit for me.
For the only reason I'm against that is that it was something that you guys brought up too, was that having him be sick instead of having him avoid the area because he doesn't want to see Chihaya was better than having him like take a step back and avoid Chihaya. I feel like him choosing Karuta over watching like the Masters tournament as well as seeing his friends would also be a step back.
Yeah, we were pretty smart. I agree with us.
Yeah. So I think him being sick is fine, and it allows that drama of, again, like who's Chihaya going to pick.
Taichi.
Taichi's done.
He's done.
Taichi's been done
done.
since the confession.
Taichi
the
is not
confession
done.
happened, and then Taichi lost.
Taichi still has a horse in this race.
Taichi has never made Chihaya just stare at the ceiling with her eyes glossed over.
Yeah, it is very true. But remember how sweet that match was? It's because Taichi is playing catch up. Is like a little bit because remember when they played each other in this season, and then she saw him for the first time, like basically when she's playing. That was a moment of love. That's a love she doesn't understand. That's a love that's so deep that nothing Arata can do. Arata's love is superficial.
Come on.
No.
It's a young love. That's what it is. It's something that was forged on a bond of Karuta. Arata and Chihaya are bonded only for Karuta itself because they have that connection of when they were kids. Taichi knows her now. Taichi knows everything that she is now and loves her for it. And that's why Taichi's going to come out on top. Team Taichi.
Yeah, go Team Arata.
Fine.
There's one more thing I wanted to mention. When Suo was playing his hard on the third match and he was like going all ham and stuff, he was saying to himself something along the lines of like, Shinobu, let's show them that they can't control us. What did you guys think he meant by that?
Well, for me, it seems like last season and really heavily this season, it's kind of hinting that the like Karuta Association does not like that they have been the queen and master because they are antisocial.
They're just
weird.
The worst representation.
Yeah, like weird, and they don't want to play with people, or like they don't have masters and stuff. So essentially, I think when he says like because it seems like they're trying to get them to lose. So he's like, when he says like, I'm going to show them that they can't control us, is him like showing that he can not only can he control the amount of cards he wins by, but the amount of games and how the games play out. So he wants to show them that they have no control over him whatsoever, and he actually has like all the control he wants.
They've definitely brought up that they don't like Shinobu and Suo, and so it is interesting that Suo is aware of that fact, because I always saw it as sort of like, you know, the Karuta Society is sort of like, you know, they're trying to keep appearances, you know, be professional and all that stuff, but within their closed circles, they're discussing that, you know, I hate that Suo is a master, yada yada yada. But the fact that Suo is actually aware of that is adds an interesting dynamic to it, and that he can be a rebel in this little Karuta Society is, I think, kind of cool. Adds a little bit of an internal conflict on this little club they've got going on, I guess. All right. Well, I think that's about it, right, guys? Good discussion.
I think so.
Yeah.
Jake, it's really good to have you back, man. It's good to see Anime Dumpster Dive back. Good to see
thanks.
good old Tria back. Do you want to tell the folks what you guys do over there?
Yeah, at Anime Dumpster Dive, we have our Anime Dumpster Dive podcast where we go in depth on an anime that's been considered bad by the anime watching community, mostly either through word of mouth or through bad My Anime List scores. Our latest one we did was In Another World with a Smartphone, which might be up there in one of the worst animes we've ever watched.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like other bad anime have like memorable stuff. This is nothing.
Just bland porridge on a hot day.
Ooh.
Yep. Bland.
Very poetic.
No, because even then you'd remember the hot day.
Yeah,
This is bland porridge in a dark cellar.
Bland
So
porridge
it's
in
like-
purgatory?
Go check out Jake's bland porridge channel.
Anyway, we release one of those podcasts every month, and we just came back from a 6-month hiatus. Like Chihayafuru came back from a 5-year hiatus.
Nice. Good tie-in.
Thanks. So we're planning on releasing more videos. In fact, we also just released a kind of a watch-along type video where you put on an anime, and we have audio kind of mystery science theatering it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that one
Love that
was
idea.
for Island of the Giant Insects, which is an anime that I did a video on a few months back.
Yeah, that's awesome. How was that so far?
Oh, thank God they only released it as a movie. But it is a hour of just bad. Like it is the worst anime of 2020.
Wow.
Ooh.
Period.
2 months in.
2 months in?
2 months
Boom.
in.
That's
Came
it.
out.
That's the worst one. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, that sounds cool. All right. Well, thanks again, Jake. Kobe, would you like to sign us off, please?
Sure, I would love to. You've been watching this on Nerd Blaze. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Go check out the rest of our channel. We do some cool stuff like do other episode reviews of other animes. We do some cool videos, including one that Jeff did when he was high on mushrooms.
Oh my God.
It's because, the mushroom intake that he was taking for years made him think Chihayafuru was really bad for the longest time. But as soon as I got him off the mushrooms, then he came to his senses and realized how good the show was. So he made a video about why he was wrong about Chihayafuru. Definitely check that out. It is an awesome video, along with some of our other videos. Leave a comment, all that fun stuff. We like talking with people. Anyways, thank you all very much, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.